Uh, Hello everyone, welcome to free crash course for competitive exams held by VIRAT HINDUSTAN SANGHAM in association with Manifest IAS Bengaluru. This program is convened by Dr. SWAMY and it was started last month. So you can watch this program online on the YouTube channel of VIRAT HINDUSTAN SANGHAM and also on the YouTube channel of UDAYA News Karnataka. So this program is convened by Sri Ravishankar sir, who is the state education convener for VHS Karnataka and also president of Good Neighbors India NGO. So I am the chief mentor of your program. I have been mentoring civil service aspirants for past 5 years. Okay. So you can join our Telegram channel VHS Education Forum and you can ask your queries, guidance, anything for free of cost. It's a completely free program. So we are negotiating the economy section of the your syllabus. So economy is full of concepts. So it's going to take a bit extra time, right? So this program is useful for both freshers as well as veterans. Both can make good use of this program. Okay. So the source for your Indian economy is Srirangam. Book by Srirangam is your source for Indian economy. Okay, yesterday we were dealing with money market. Money market, and we discussed the non-banking financial company. So some peripheral areas are left. The area today which I am going to discuss is the credit default swap. What is credit default swap? It is a form of insurance. It is a form of insurance. So supposing you take a loan. Suppose you take a loan, okay, and you do not repay. You do not repay the loan. So if you fail to repay, the bank is going to take a insurance against failed repayment. So when the bank takes the insurance, even if the debtor or sala tagondiroru duddun kottilla andre, the bank will have the insurance. Bank will claim the insurance and take the money. So this is the concept of credit default swap. Credit sala default swap. Default andre sala intergila andre it is going to be swapped. So this is the concept of credit default swap. Okay. It is majorly with respect to the bonds. So you take a bond and suppose government sells any organization sells a bond and it fails to give the money when the bond is claimed. Bond and interixdaga, if they don't give the money, then it is a case of default. Then they can claim the insurance. Okay. That insurance is called as credit default swap. This is all about the credit default swap concept. Next, infrastructure debt fund. See, the concept is very simple. Infrastructure if you take the loan, then it is infrastructure debt fund. So from where all you can, so who sponsors these funds andre? It is the commercial banks and the NBFCs. I have discussed what are the commercial banks and what are the NBFCs. I have already discussed. So these two sponsor this infrastructure debt bonds, and who can invest in this fund? Both domestic investors and foreign investors. Domestic ಅವರು invest ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, foreign ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಇದನ್ನ invest ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. It is just like a bond. Right? Okay. There are two types of infrastructure trust funds, debt fund. One is NBFC based, next is company based. Trust based and mutual fund based. So other way of classifying is trust based. Infrastructure trust debt fund na you can classify into trust based. Andre one trust na set up ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Trust one organization, and in that organization you can take the money which you can utilize. And the other one is another one is the NBFC based or company based. Trust based or company based. So the infrastructure debt bonds, debt funds ali, there are two types: trust based fund and company based fund, right? So these are the two types. Enu company based andre, so you can take the money into the company, invest the money in the company, illa andre in a trust. Trust andre gottalla. Trust is an organization, right? Okay, non-profit organization tara, but it is a for-profit only in the case of here infrastructure debt funds. Okay, next FIA is investment in debt. Investment in debt. Foreign institutional investors, foreign people, foreign companies, foreigners, can they invest in the debt? Can they invest in the infrastructure? When they invest in the infrastructure, then it is called foreign. FII's investment, foreign institutional investors. FII's full form is foreign institutional investors. Institutional andrenu. See, an individual, a foreigner cannot directly invest in a IDF, infrastructure debt fund. Direct he cannot invest. So he has to invest. Alli invest via FIIs. Allondu organization madirtare. Institution. A institution alli this foreigner will invest, which that institution in turn will invest in the infrastructure debt fund. So this is the concept of FIIs, investment in debt. Next, the concept is takeout financing. Takeout financing. See, I'll tell you what is this takeout financing. First is bank asset liability mismatch anta irutte. This is a concept of asset liability mismatch. What is asset liability mismatch? See, whatever you save the money in the bank, if you save a money, then what it is a liability for the bank, right? It is a liability. Andre, you save the money in the bank, savings account, current account, FD or something, time deposit or date deposit, time or demand deposit. So when you save the money, bank has to return you the money, right? Bank has to give you back the money. When the bank has to give you the money, it is a liability on the bank. Bank in a hone, that hone anta ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ liability ಅಂತೀವಿ. Asset, next comes the asset. What is the asset? Bank gives loan to someone. Bank gives loan to someone. Isn't it an asset of the bank? Bank in asset alva. Asset andre ಆಸ್ತಿ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿನ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದು ಲೋನ್ ಕೊಡೋದು. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಅಸೆಟ್. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವಿಟ್ಟಿರೋ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೇವಲ 5 ರಿಂದ 6 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಅಸೆಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೋನ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸಲ 15 ರಿಂದ 16 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಲೋನ್. ಸೊ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 5 to 6 years ಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಟ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕು ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಸಾಲನ 15 ರಿಂದ 16 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ 15 ರಿಂದ 20 ವರ್ಷ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ದ ಲೋನ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಮಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, some infrastructure company will come in. Some infrastructure company will come in. Infrastructure company, what they do, they will take out this loan. They will take the loan of the bank outside the bank. They will take this loan, infrastructure kotra loan na, they are going to take it out of the bank and they are going to give the fund. Bank ಗೆ ಲೋನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ತೀರಿಸಬೇಕಾ ಸಾಲನ? ಸೊ ತೀರಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ, ಸೊ what happens, instead of the person who has bought the loan, this infrastructure company will give the money and take the loan to himself. So ಇವಾಗ ಯಾರು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, the infrastructure guy, he has to give it to this company, not the bank, right? So this taking the loan out of the bank into an infrastructure company is known as takeout financing. Takeout financing. So very important concept, right? Okay. So, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದು ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ IDFC, Infrastructure Development and Finance Corporation, all these companies will invest in the infrastructure for long term. They are going to take the loan outside the bank. Next, external sources of finance for India. External sources. ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ನಾವು ತೆಗಿಬಹುದು from outside the India. So the first thing is foreign stock exchange. See, Indian company is there. Suppose Reliance is there. Reliance want investors from foreign countries, right? There are two ways. This foreigners can come and invest in India only. One way, via foreign institutional investors, this FIIs, or suppose say you are an American. So you want to invest in Reliance, but you don't want to invest directly. You don't want to come to India and invest. So alle America le investment madbeku. So what you do? This Reliance company gets enrolled on the stock exchange of America. American stock exchange, yavadu New York stock exchange. Ali enroll agutte. So then Americans can invest in Reliance company. See, when Indian company goes and gets listed, enroll adre, stock exchange and enroll adre, that is called listed. When they get listed in the American stock exchange or New York stock exchange, then it is called depository receipts. Andre Indian shares na, it is called American depository receipt. Bere general agi it is called global depository receipt. America it is called American depository receipt, right? So Indian company shares now we are going to deposit in the American stock exchange. There the Americans can invest in the Indian company in the American stock exchange. This is the concept of ADRs or GDRs, right? So it is a way of taking our investment. It comes to Reliance only, right? So that is one source. Next, external commercial borrowings. The companies can directly borrow from outside India. They can directly borrow from outside India. That is external commercial borrowings. And also, they can take the money from World Bank, IMF, AIB, all these organizations. So they can also invest through masala bonds. I've discussed what is a masala bond, right? So masala bond andre, I've told you. Indian company, some institution will be there, IFC for example, it issues the bond and the bond money will come to Indian company. Company shares enide adanna list ಮಾಡಿ this foreign company will issue masala bonds. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ masala bond ಅಲ್ಲಿ the money is going to come to India. So all these are external sources of taking money into India, right? So next, the concept of external commercial borrowings, very important concept. External commercial borrowings. So who are going to take the money from from the external commercial borrowings? See, it is external, outside the India, commercial borrowing, not government borrowing. Commercial andre which is for profit. Commercial borrowings, right? Who can? So idralli external commercial borrowings alli yavadu? See, masala bond it is a rupee denominated debt. Rupee denominated debt andre the foreigners is going to invest in masala bond, right? That money is coming to India in the form of, or India has to repay, Indian companies has to repay in rupee. Dollars al duddu bandru kuda they have to repay the money in rupee. Whereas external commercial borrowings alli the money directly comes in the form of dollars. Dollar sala barutte andre in the foreign currency, not only dollar, any foreign currency, right? So it is the amount comes via foreign currency, right? Who gives this external commercial borrowings? Yaru? It is either multilateral financial institutions, yaru? IFC, International Financial Corporation, which is a part of World Bank. They can issue. Next, Asian Development Bank can issue, right? So All these are entities which are going to invest in external commercial borrowings, right? So, these external commercial borrowings, there is one catch. What is that catch, Andre? It cannot be invested in stock market. ADRs, GDRs, you can directly invest in the stock market. Foreign institutional investors can invest in the stock market. Whereas external commercial borrowings, there is foreigners cannot give loans to investment in stock market. Rather, they can give it just as a loan to expand the company or various other reasons, right? Okay, so it gives an additional source of funding. Rather, apart from India dalli sigo salakinta ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಸಾಲ ಸಿಗೋದು, it is an additional source for Indian companies to take money. Even PSUs can take money. Public sector undertakings can also take money from ECBs, right? So only one condition, it cannot be used for the stock market. It cannot be used for stock market. That is the only condition. So ECBs can be raised through two routes. External commercial borrowings can be raised through two routes. What are the two routes? One is automatic route. Another one is approval route. Automatic route andre foreign company can directly invest in India. Indian company can directly take the money, debt, from a foreign company or foreign entity without taking the approval of the government. That is automatic route. Whereas approval route, automatic route, approval route. If they take the money outside the, if they take the money from the foreign country via the government approval, then it is called approval route. So, which will be the loans which will be under automatic route, and what will be the loans under approval route? Andre, the amount which is actually less, kadme amount irantadu automatic route, jasti amount idre approval route. General agi, that will be the division, right? Okay, so this is the concept of two routes of taking the money from the foreign countries. That is external commercial borrowings, right? Okay. Next, euro issues. Euro issues andre, these are bonds. These are bonds. Just like ADR, America dalli, if you list the Indian company, then it is ADR. Europe countries dalli, if you list the company, then it is Euro issues, right? Okay. Next, we will move to the concept of stock market. So, everybody knows what is a stock market. So, what is a stock? Stock, share, equity. We will discuss these definitions. Okay. His stock, suppose there is a company. There is a company which is worth 1,000 rupees. Hypothetical example, right? If you want to create stocks, if you want to give initial public offering, what is initial public offering? Stock company, now you want to go for IPO. You will be reading in newspaper that the companies want to go for IPO, initial public offering. Andre, this company XYZ wants to get listed on the stock exchange. When they get listed for the first time, they will give shares. That shares, first time shares are called one IPO, initial public offering, right? Suppose a company has 1,000 rupees of worth. 1,000 rupees of worth. This can be converted into 1,000 shares of 1 rupee each, or 100 shares of 10 rupee each. This share, or this, if the suppose the share is of 10 rupees, then there are 100 shares. Each share 10 rupee. So this share can be called as a stock. If you hold this share of the company, sharing the company. When you hold this share with yourself, then it is a stock. You have stocked something with you. This is the concept of stock market. Trading in the stocks is called stock market. Elli trade martira, that is called the stock market. So why stock market? One is, why should a company get enrolled in stock market? It gives extra investment. When you, suppose 1000 rupees is the worth of the company, it has listed on the stock market. So you know, stock market only, it will be going up, down, up, right? So when the company performs good, this stock, let's say 10 rupee one stock, 100 shares are there. When the company performs good or there is more investment, the stock price will go up. It might go to 15 rupees. So 15 rupees, the company will get extra 5 rupees, right? So extra 5 rupees. So companies get the extra investment. That is why the companies get enrolled on the stock market. They get enrolled on the stock market. Say they raise the capital. ಬಂಡವಾಳವನ್ನ stock market ಇಂದ ಎತ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. This is the concept of stock market, right? So company start ಮಾಡೋನ್ನ, here it is called, the person who starts the company is called promoter. Who starts the company is called promoter. Our hatra there will be more shares. Promoters generally will have more shares, right? So when it comes to stock market, there are two types of companies. One is public limited company and private limited company. These two are the companies, right? Okay. Next, stock exchange. The concept of stock exchange. See, there are stocks in the companies. Where is this stock traded? Can we come at a place regularly and trade the stocks? No. There should be some intermediary, right? Intermediary via which can the aeroplane land anywhere? No, it has to land in airport only. Likewise, stocks can be traded only in the stock exchange. Stock exchange, it's an institution, it's an organization. Illi stakeholders, shareholders irtare. Shareholders, bondholders, or brokers, stock brokers, everybody will be there, right? Okay. Illi, in the stock exchange, suppose you have a company ABC. You can list this company. You want to raise capital. Where will you go? Can you go to the stock people directly? No. There has to be some intermediary, madhyavarti, where you can list the stock. See, this is called stock exchange, where you are going to list your company. You are going to list the company. That is called a stock exchange, right? See, the definition of stock is the capital raised by a corporation via the sale of shares or bonds. I told you. Stock is a capital raised. Company sells a share. It sells a share and in turn gets a money, right? When it sells a share, that money is called the stock. That money is called the stock. Stock is the capital raised by a corporation through the sale of shares or bonds. Bond athwa share na sale madi, what the money it comes to the company, that is called a stock, right? Okay. Importance of stock exchange. What are the importance of stock exchange? One is it helps the companies to raise capital, right? Second, it provides exact valuation of the company. How a company is performing. Market ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿಯ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದು ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ, ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇಂದ. So that is one thing. Then it promotes saving. So the investors invest in the money of the stock exchange, in the stocks, shares of the stock exchange. Then they are going to save that money, right? It is a kind of saving. So rather than that, you can say like this: public would have saved some money. Our money to put it into better use, to put the public money into better use. Public have saved the money. Adalli, is there an investment of that saving? If you save the money in the house, no. You can invest that saving in some stocks. The stocks will grow, so your savings will also grow. Right? So to tap the savings, then to attract foreign investment. Stocks idre foreign investment will come. They will invest in the companies. So then it is also stock market in the government will also be able to take resources. Government ge sala bekirutte. They can take the money from the stock market by selling bonds, government bonds, right? So these are the importances of stock exchange. Somebody asks you what is the importance of stock exchange? These are the importances. Next, there is a concept of primary market and secondary market. Primary market andrenu? See, company is there. Some company is there, XYZ. It sells the shares for the first time, IPO. Stock directly from company to the shareholder or public. Where this happens, this is called primary market. Primary market. Once a person purchases the stock, he starts trading in that stock. A stock na purchase madadmele adana market stock exchange alli trade ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. This trading of stock happens in secondary market. Primary market, company to public. Secondary market, among the shareholders. Somebody will sell, somebody will buy. So this is the concept of secondary market and primary market, right? Okay. So primary market generally it would be the IPOs. First time a company is selling a stock, it is called IPO. And follow on public offer. So here, first time if they sell the stock of the company, it is called IPO, initial public offer. Later they are going to sell the stock, then it is called follow on public offer. Both of them get traded in the primary market. Later on, the public start trading the stocks, then it happens in the secondary market. So this is the concept of primary market and secondary market. Next, stock exchanges in India. What were the stock exchanges in India? When did it begin? What is their valuation? What is its importance? How many shareholders are there in India? What is the valuation of the stock exchange? These are the questions which comes to a mind of a common person who wants to know about this very big market called stock market. Suppose let us take the example of Russia invasion over Ukraine. Suddenly the stock market collapsed. Why? Because taking resources from that region, Siberian region, Ukraine, Russia, oil, gold, uranium, all these resources will become costly. There will be scarcity. When there is scarcity, automatically the stocks will go down. Because people lose confidence. People lose confidence in the market. That is why ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಶೇರ್ ನ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊರಟೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. When this emergency selling of shares happens, the stock market collapses or it goes into a bearish mood. Bear. Okay, I'm going to discuss what is a bear, what is a bull, everything. So there are 5 stock exchanges as of now. Bombay Stock Exchange, it is the oldest. It is Asia's first stock exchange. Bombay Stock Exchange is the Asia's first stock exchange, and in the world it is the 11th largest stock exchange. 11th largest stock exchange. So more than 5,000 companies have been listed on it. More than 5,000 companies. Its valuation is $2 trillion. The valuation of Bombay Stock Exchange, or the amount of transactions that takes place, is $2 trillion. So Bombay Stock Exchange index, what is the index? Every stock exchange will have an index. So the Bombay Stock Exchange equity index is S&P BSE Sensex. S&P and the Standards and Poor's. It is a rating agency. BSE Sensex. BSE Sensex is the index of the Bombay Stock Exchange, right? So Bombay Stock Exchange, there is a online platform, online trading platform. It is called Bolt. Bombay Stock Exchange online trading platform is called Bolt. Next we have National Stock Exchange. See, this starts in 1992. National Stock Exchange begins operation in 1992, right? So what is the role of this National Stock Exchange? To provide a platform for more and more companies. Stock exchange ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಷ್ಟು companies will go and invest or list their shares in the stock exchange. So to promote transparency and efficiency, in the market, this National Stock Exchange was formed, right? Okay, who forms this National Stock Exchange? Who are the famous investors? National Stock Exchange alli investment yaar madidare? It is LIC, GIC, State Bank of India and all these companies, right? What is the index of National Stock Exchange? How do you trace or gauge the performance of a particular stock exchange? The index is NSE 50, Nifty 50. Nifty 50 is the index of National Stock Exchange. 50 andre no, 50 means there are 50 companies. So this index tracks the performance of 50 companies, whereas BSE Sensex tracks the performance of 30 companies. NSE Nifty 50 tracks the performance of 50 companies, right? Next, Metropolitan Stock Exchange, not very important. Metropolitan Stock Exchange of India, 2008 ali. It starts 2008. Next, United Stock Exchange of India. This is also not very important. So the only important stock exchanges are Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. First two ones. United Stock Exchange, it is a 2010 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ actually United Stock Exchange ಅಲ್ಲಿ banks are the major listers. Banks are the people who have listed majorly, right? Okay. Next, India International Exchange, the latest one. Where is this India International Exchange? Gujarat, Gift City. Gujarat, Gift City. India International Exchange, 2013-17, this starts functioning. It is located where? IFSC, International Financial Services Center. International Financial Services Centrally, it is there. So it is the most advanced stock exchange in India as of now. Hosadalva, it is the most advanced stock exchange in India. Okay, it functions for 22 hours a day. This stock exchange works for 22 hours a day. 2 hours gap, maybe to clean and everything, all those things. So it is a kind of as good as taking this stock exchange as a 24-hour exchange, right? Next, the indices or small enterprises. BSC, SME and NSE emerge. See, SME andre it is small and micro enterprises. Do small companies go and list in the stock exchange? Small companies. Bulk manufacturing, small cloth manufacturing, all these companies in the slums. They don't go and they don't have the capacity, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the literacy to go and list in the stock exchange. So to help them, BSC SME has been formed. 2012. BSC SME starts in 2012 for small and medium sized enterprises. Small and medium sized enterprises. So avaga NSE will also start a SME platform, small and medium enterprises. So NSE platform is called Emerge. NSE platform, BSC platform is called SME, NSE platform is called Emerge. Right? Okay. So this is the concept. So once the small companies enroll in the stock exchange, they have high funding options. Because once you are listed on a stock exchange, investors can invest in your company. They know that there is such company. So they are going to invest in your company via this exchange. That is why it is important to raise the capital for small businesses. Next, Sensex. Sensex is a full form is sensitive index. Sensex full form is sensitive index. Right? So, ಎಷ್ಟು companies ಇದೆ? 30 largest blue chip stocks. 30 largest blue chip stocks. What is a blue chip stock? Highly valued stocks are called blue chip stocks. One company stock ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೆಲೆ ಇದೆ. That company is really valued. Then it is a blue chip company and the stock of that company is called the blue chip stock. Blue chip stock, right? Okay. Next, we will, just like RBI, we have to discuss the concept of SEBI. Security Exchange, Security and Exchange Board of India. Securities and Exchange Board of India. So when does it begin operation? 1988. It was formed, established in 1988. Right? However, is it a statutory body or a constitutional body? It is a statutory body based on SEBI Act 1992. Just like RBI has a RBI Act 1934, SEBI has a SEBI Act 1992. Okay? So, it is a regulator for stock exchange. Idella stock exchange heladnalla. Who is going to monitor them? There has to somebody who has to monitor them, right? So it is the SEBI which monitors all these stock exchanges. So it protects the interest of the investors. See, the stock exchange, what they do? They are profit making. They want to make profit. ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಡಬ್ಬಾ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೂ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. I have watched this movie Wolf of the Wall Street. It is a movie by Leonardo DiCaprio. So there it is shown that how in bad companies Americans were made to or tricked to invest. Likewise, if SEBI is not there, SEBI doesn't protect the interest of the investors, investors will be tricked to invest in bad stocks. So it works for the interest of the investors, and it also carries out investor education. Investor education. See, in the mutual fund advertisement bandaga, the advertisement will come. Mutual funds are subject to market risk. Please read all the scheme related documents before investing. Anta, this ad comes. And also SEBI gives this Jago Grahak Jago. All these are investment or investor education. Educating the investors to invest properly, right? Okay. So, this is the concept. This is what the fraudulent trade practices idre, the SEBI is going to penalize them. Fraud yararu company marta idre, SEBI will penalize them, right? And the companies na, they are going to shut down, right? Amele, if a company is taken over by other company, earlier Myntra was taken over by Flipkart, right? So if a company is taken over by other company, whose permission they have to seek? They have to take the permission of SEBI, right? So SEBI head office is in Mumbai. Head office is in Mumbai. 3 regional office, just like RBI, Kolkata, Chennai and New Delhi. Next, Security Laws Amendment Act 2014. There was some changes brought about in this act. So, why this amendment was brought about? To curb the fraudulent schemes. There were many fraudulent schemes. Satyam Computers, chit funds, Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes. Right? So, Ponzi scheme, I told you, IMA, Shivaji Nagar. Invest 100 rupees now, 6 months after, take 200 rupees. It's a Ponzi scheme. So, why Ponzi and there will be one person called Charles Ponzi. He, in America, devises this kind of fraudulent scheme. Based on his name, this Ponzi scheme name has been devised. So, what is this amendment all about? One, to curb the Ponzi schemes, fraudulent investment schemes, and also to form fast track courts. Fast track courts na start madlike this act gives the provision. Amendment Act. Next, SEBI's role as the protector of investors. One is investor education. Second is penalizing the erring companies. Companies are going to do mistake. They will be penalized by SEBI. Right? So, what are the functions that SEBI performs with respect to protecting the investors? So, it is registering the companies, registering and regulating the intermediaries. Companies na register madala. Intermediaries, who are the intermediaries? Intermediaries, stock exchange, brokers, all these things will be, if you want to be a stock broker, you have to get yourself registered with the SEBI. That is one thing. Then, to oversee the function of credit rating agency. Credit rating agency, CRISIL, Standards and Poor's. All these credit rating agency, what do this credit rating agency do? Suppose a company is there, XYZ, this rating agency will gauge this company, saying that whether it is eligible for loan. Sala kodlike ee company ge eligibility idya. So also stock exchange ali, company is going for listing. If the company is listed, whether it can honor the commitments, whether it is eligible for listing, astana idya company li, everything will be checked by the rating agencies. Who checks the rating agency? It is the SEBI. SEBI na yar credit rating agency na monitor madodu SEBI, right? And also investment schemes, mutual fund, all these things I told you, investment where the public will invest, they have to these mutual funds have to get registered with the SEBI, right? That is one investor protection. And also prosecuting the fraud. Yararu fraud ಮಾಡಿ people investment na ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ penalize ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ SEBI. I have already told it. Next, it oversees the major transactions. Major transactions ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೋಟ್ಯಾಂತರ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಲ್ಲ among the companies, that will be overseen by the SEBI, right? And also auditing of the stock exchange. Stock exchange, whether it is performing properly, will be audited. That is also the role of SEBI. That is also one of the role of SEBI. Next, capital market reforms. Capital market. So what is capital market? Capital andre bandwala, market andre where this capital is available. Where this capital is available. Where this capital is traded. Okay. So that is the capital market, right? So what are the reforms? So first reforms is SEBI has given statutory status. SEBI law is there. That is the first reform. Earlier there was not there. Then now we are witnessing the electronic trade. Earlier electronic trade was not there. Electronic trade witness ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. Foreign institutional investors, I told you earlier, India was a closed economy. Foreign investment was not allowed. Now we are allowing the foreign institutional investors. Since when? Since 1992, right? Okay. Next, compulsory dematerialization. Dematerial andre eno? See, company worth is 1,000 rupees. It is a material form, money, hard money, right? Real money. Idina, if you want to trade on the stock exchange, can you trade the money directly? No. It has to be in some electronic format, electronic data format. This is material. You convert it into stocks or shares, it is dematerialization, demat. I have discussed it yesterday also, right? Okay. So, and also anchor investors, so participatory notes. I will discuss what is a participatory note. It is a kind of foreign investment in Indian stock exchange. Participatory notes na, it is actually bad. Adanna monitor madadu, we have reforms in monitoring or restricting the participatory notes. That is also capital market reforms. And also MSME platform. I told you BSc SME and NSE emerge. These two platforms help the small and medium enterprises to take money. So that is also a capital reform. Next, let's discuss the concept of demutualization. I have already told what is demutualization. Okay. So I told you dematerialization, not demutualization. Okay. So demutualization andre, see, if a company ownership, there one is company owner is there, another is company management is there. Two things. If these two are one and the same, it is mutual. If management is separated from promoter, owner and then promoter. If management is separated from the promoter, both are different, then it is called, this process is called demutualization. So idinna how do you see this in the stock exchange? See, earlier these brokers are the owners. Stock brokers istara, they are the owners of stock exchange actually, right? So now by demutualization, owners and brokers have been made different. Owners and brokers have been made different people. Owners are different, brokers are different. This is made possible by demutualization. The concept of separating them is called demutualization, right? Okay, next, derivatives. The concept of derivatives. See, what is a derivative? I'll give you the example of bank note only. See, I told you fiat currency. Fiat currency, say, let's say there is a 100 rupee note. From where does that 100 rupee note derives its value? It is based on some metal. I told you gold or silver. From that gold or silver, this note is deriving the value. Right? Similarly, you have stocks. Stocks or shares are there. Where do that stock or share is deriving their value from? It is from the capital of the company. Hard capital iruttala bandwala, from that only, or the profit or the turnover, from there only the shares are deriving their value. Shares we are selling on the platform. Do the shares inherently have any value? No, there should be something linked. Just like how without RBI governor sign, the paper note is just a paper. Likewise, share without a asset is meaningless. So share as a asset, linked asset. So this share derives its value from that asset. This share derives the value from that asset. Then it is called a derivative. It is a financial instrument. It is a financial instrument. So the price of the derivative directly depends on the asset. Asset mele idra price depend agutte. Asset value rise adre share value no rise agutte. Next, futures. Simple. If you are trading in today, that is not a future. If you are trading in future stocks, so ನೀವು ಇವತ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟು 1ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು 15ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು you want to buy and sell, you do it today, then you are doing it in futures, future stocks, right? So buyer ಮತ್ತೆ seller, I am the buyer, you are the seller, we both will agree that I am going to buy your stock after 15 days, then it is called futures, future stocks, right? So this is different from the forwards. There is one future contract is there, another one is forward contract is there. So you might ask, sir, both might mean the same, future stock, forward stock. Both might mean the same anta you might argue, but they are different. So what is the difference? Future stocks are traded on a trading platform. Stock exchange ali trade ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ future stocks na. We trade it on a stock exchange, right? Whereas forwards it is just a written commitment. Written commitment means forward stocks andre forward contract. We both will make a agreement on a bond paper saying that on 15th of March I am going to buy 100 kg sugar, or I am going to buy 100 stocks in your company. We are going to just make the agreement and keep among ourselves. That is a forward contract, mundukke. Whereas future andre it is the same, we are going to buy in the future idu stocks na, but forward contract na they cannot be traded on the stock exchange, whereas futures can be traded on the stock exchange. So this is the difference between forward contract and futures contract, right? Okay. So next we have the issue of, or the concept of options. Options. We have made some agreement. that futurely we are going to deal. But when that date or time comes, if I exercise my options, whether to buy or not to buy, futurely if they make a commitment, they have to buy. Whereas in option, they need not buy. It is an option. I may buy or may not buy. Right? So it is the concept of option. There are two options, call option and put option. Call option and put option. Call andre you call, you buy. Put option andre you are not. It is you put option andre sell the stock. Call option andre buy the stock. As simple as that. Next, we will discuss the concept of buyback of shares. Sometimes what happens? Company itself will buy back the share. Company share na kottirutte to the public via the stock exchange. Sometimes the company itself will buy back its shares. Company itself will buy the shares from the market by giving higher price. Why? Market price ಏನಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು they are going to buy. That is called the concept of buyback of shares. Why? I'm asking you why. See, suppose the company has excess capital, sikkhabate profit but excess capital ide, that has to be invested properly. Then they are going to buy the shares from the market. Their own shares they are going to buy from the shareholders, from the market, right? Then also, suppose the share price is 10 rupees. If the company itself buys back the share by giving more money, share price jasti agalva. 12 rupees agutte. It will become more attractive, right? Share alli prices jasti adre, it will become attractive because more profit, right? Market andre societally, if the price of a good falls, it will become more attractive. Whereas in the share market, if the price is jasti adre, it will become attractive because it is going to fetch you more profit. Adukoskara they are going to be buy. And also, some people want to, shareholders, some people want to sell off their shares. Sell off their shares. Suppose I own a company. You are my investor. You are a shareholder. You want to exit. Avaga company will buy your shares. Right? Okay. Next, we will discuss the concept of anchor investor. Anchor investor, you have to understand the concept of anchor first. What is an anchor? Anchor toothpaste? Huh? Anchor means, see, you know big ships are there. How the ships are made to stand at a particular place. There will be an anchor, right, like this. They are going to throw that into the sea. Itara iruttalla. Anchor ingiruttalla. Some rod, big rod. They are going to throw it into the sea. So it gets anchored. Ship gets anchored to something. So, same concept, anchor investors. Anchor investors. Actually, anchor investors are also called cornerstone investors. You can understand them as important investors. Important investors for a company. So, suppose a company, LIC is going for IPO. Initial public offering. For the first time, LIC is coming on stock market. IPO. Suppose some normal company is going for IPO. Starting a share market the prices will be very less. So, these anchor investors will promise to buy certain shares. Starting a buy before it is going into IPO, right? Once they buy, the prices will go more. It will become attractive, right, to the common public or the common investor. So, in order to increase the stock price or to make the stocks initial public offerings attractive to the investor, they these anchor investors are going to invest in the stocks, right? This is the concept of anchor investor. Next, we will discuss. I have already discussed what is a global depository receipt. Global depository receipt. I'm going to revise it again. What does it means? Andre, Indian company wants to raise a capital. Indian company wants to raise capital from a foreign country. They are going to issue global, or they are going to get listed on a foreign exchange. The stocks given by the foreign exchange are called global depository receipts. Because this company is not in this country, it is a foreign company, it is from outside. Indian company goes to foreign country and issues the stocks, and the shares that the company gives to the foreign exchange is called global depository receipt, right? Okay, so they are issued in foreign currency. Japan alladre yen, China alladre yuan, all these things. They are issued in foreign currency, just like your ECB, external commercial borrowing, right? Next, we have the concept of American depository receipt. See, America GDR ge G tagdi A haki. If the foreign country is America, then it is American depository receipt. You raise the money from American stock exchange. Let's say New York Stock Exchange, then it is American depository receipt. So next, we have the concept of difference between FDI and FPI. Foreign direct investment madhya foreign portfolio investment madhya, what is the difference? See, so if there is a broad principle, actually there is quite a difference between FDI and FPI. But the broad principle is, suppose a company is 1,000 rupees, value is 1,000 rupees. 10% andre eshtu of this 1,000 rupees? 100 rupees. 100 rupees ginta kadme foreign investment bandre, then it is called foreign portfolio investment. If the investment is more than 10%, if the investment is less than 10%, then it is called foreign portfolio investment. If the investment is more than 10%, then it is called foreign direct investment. This is the standard formula, right? So FDI, this is the primary difference. Secondary difference, it is a foreign direct investment. It is actually to build a company. Foreign investment, FDI madadre, you want to build that company, you want to nurture that company, you want to grow that company, you want to make name via that company. You are interested in its management, how well it is managed. Whereas FBI, they are interested in profit. Whether the company gives us profit back if we invest in it. That is foreign portfolio investment, right? Okay, foreign portfolio investor. Who is a foreign portfolio investor? Illi, to decide this, SEBI sets up a committee. The committee name is Chandrasekhar Committee. Chandrasekhar Committee was set up by SEBI to give opinions on foreign investment. Foreign investment ಬಗ್ಗೆ opinion ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ this committee is set up. So, 2014 ಅಲ್ಲಿ it is going to give a report, and as per the report, new FPI regime was started. New foreign portfolio investment regime was started after this Chandrasekhar Committee gives the report. So, foreign actually there are three things. One is foreign institutional investor, FII. Next, we have sub-accounts. Then you have qualified foreign investor. These three are the foreign things earlier, before Chandrasekhar Committee. Once the Chandrasekhar committee comes, all these things are converted into just FPI, one category. Sub accounts, qualified foreign investor and foreign institutional investor. All these three things are converted into FPI after the Chandrasekhar committee, right? So FPI, now the condition is, earlier they were not allowed to invest in corporate companies. FPI, foreign portfolio investors, it is just a foreign investment which is less than 10% of that company, right? Earlier they were not allowed to invest in corporations, corporate companies. From 2018 they have been allowed to invest, right? Okay, so not only in corporate companies, now they can invest in central government bonds. These foreign portfolio investors now can invest in central government bonds. When it comes to central government bond, when it is issued in the state government, what is it called? Central government kadre bond matte treasury bill. State government, state development loans. State development loans. Pallu kuda now they can invest. Next, foreign institutional investor. What is this? Foreign institutional investor. It is an institution basically. It is outside India. It is an institution outside India, right? It is an institution outside India. It gets registered with SEBI. It gets registered. Suppose, let's say Germany. Germany lo ಒಂದು foreign institutional investor ಇದೆ. It gets registered with Germany with SEBI. So illi Germans can invest in this foreign institutional investor, which in turn invests in India. This is the concept of foreign institutional investor. Okay. So why India is a favorable destination for ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ? ವೈ? ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ is growing, that is why. Then huge profit margin is high, all these things, and government policies are good, ease of doing business is good, all these things make them attractive. Next, qualified foreign investor. Earlier I told qualified foreign investor, right? So qualified investor andre no, foreign investor andre is from a country which adheres the FATF norms. FATF norms. What is FATF norms? Financial Action Task Force. There is an organization called Financial Action Task Force. What does it do? Money laundering ಮತ್ತೆ terror financing. Money laundering ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಹವಾಲಾ ಮನಿ, ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮನಿನ ಒಂದರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆಗೆ ತಲುಪಿಸೋದು ಮನಿ ಲಾಂಡ್ರಿಂಗ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸಿಂಗ್, ಇದೆರಡೂ ಕೂಡ this FATF curbs, right? If an investor belongs to the country which respects FATF norms, FATF agreement ಗೆ ಸೈನ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, then he is called a qualified foreign investor, right? So from 2012 they can invest in SEBI, invest in India directly. Now it is part of FPI. They have been merged after Chandrasekhar committee. They have been merged into single entity, right? Next, sub account andre it is an account established outside India. Sub account andre it's an account established in outside India. Eno illi in this sub account foreigners are going to invest in turn this sub account is going to invest in India, right? Sub account alli foreigners invest ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಬ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ is going to do in India. So now it has been also merged with foreign portfolio investors. These three things have been merged into FPI now. Now let us look at the concept of participatory notes. Participatory notes. So I told you FII, if they have to, foreign institutional investor, if they have to invest in India, they have to register with whom? SEBI. They have to register themselves with SEBI. However, some companies don't want to get registered. Some companies, they don't want to get registered, or they are not eligible. Those companies who don't want to disclose their identity, or those individuals who do not want to disclose their identity, they will invest through participatory notes. That is why it is dangerous, because we don't know the identity of the person who is investing. He might be a terrorist. He might be a money launderer, right? So, it is a non-transparent instrument, but they are tradable globally. Participatory note anta, from foreigner invests in India via participatory note, that can be traded globally. That note PN can be traded globally across all platforms. So one condition here is it doesn't satisfy the know your KYC norms. KYC norms means know your customer norms. You want to open an account in bank, you have to give your KYC, right? Know your customer. Okay. So this is the concept of participatory note. And it is non-transparent. It is non-transparent. It is a offshore derivative instrument. It is a offshore derivative instrument. Offshore derivative instrument andre. You have to ask, what is it? Offshore andre, suppose a country is here, there is seashore. The country is this, seashore is here. Offshore andre outside the country. Outside the country. Clear? Outside the country, derivative instrument. Derivative. It derives its value from something, from an asset. So participatory note is an offshore derivative instrument which derives its value from the asset of the Indian company. Right? Okay. So, but it is not good. Just know that it is a non-transparent thing. Right? It might lead to so many issues. So they are potentially unsafe. Now, now SEBI says that please register. Please please get registered and invest as foreign institutional investor rather than as a participatory note, anta SEBI is saying. Right? Okay. So next, clearing house. The concept of participatory note is clear. Okay. Next, clearing house. See, I told you when we were discussing the chapter of money market or the banking system, RBI ಬಗ್ಗೆ when we are discussing, I said there is a national clearing house. I told you a check has to go from SBI to ICICI. It has to be cleared by someone who clears the transaction, that this transaction has happened in a legal way. Okay. So, just like the money, even in stocks, there is a clearing house. Suppose you sell a stock to me, whether this transaction is successful, whether the person who has sold the stock, that stock has been transferred to the buyer. Who clears this? There is a clearing house. There is a clearing house, right? What is this clearing house? So I told you the meaning. So the clearing house ಯಾವ್ದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ National Securities Clearing Corporation, National Securities Clearing Corporation, Indian Clearing Corporation. All these things are clearing houses with respect to stock exchanges. Stock exchanges. I mean the stocks. Next, commodity exchange. Commodity exchange. So till now we have spoken about the equities, shares, stocks and all these things. Now we will talk about the commodity. What is a commodity? Commodity is something real, which is physical. Rice, wheat, food grains. If you trade in this, then it is called sugar, jute, cotton. If you trade in in these things, it is called commodity trade. Commodity trade. The exchange or the stock exchange. See, stocks na trade ಮಾಡೋದು stock exchange, commodities na trade ಮಾಡೋದು commodity exchange. Right? Okay. So, commodities. You should know about the commodity, the meaning of commodities, right? So, commodities allo there is a future that I am going to buy this commodity from you in a future date. Yes? Allu kuda future is there. Future stocks. Okay? 120 commodities ide. So, for example, onion. Commodity exchange alli I am going to make a future agreement or a future stock, buy a future stock or a future commodity from the seller that on this particular date I am going to buy 150 kg of onion from you. That is called commodity futures. Right? Okay. So commodity exchange there are 6 commodity exchanges, multi commodity exchange, national commodity exchange, all these things. Names are not very important, but the names of stock exchanges are important. So yavadu commodities, gold, oil, silver, copper, these are the commodities, including the soya bean, castor oil, all these things. Next, forward market commission. FMC. See, till 2015 it was an independent organization. FMC another one independent organization agittu. Till 2015. 2015 ali FMC was merged with SEBI. So stock exchange was looked after by SEBI. Commodity exchange was looked after by FMC. There was lot of issues. So 2015 ali SEBI na mate forward markets commission na they are going to merge. They are going to make it a single body. Okay. So, Forward Markets Commission. Now there is, so this act actually it was formed on a, just like SEBI Act Prakara, Forward Market Commission was also formed based on Forward Contracts Regulation Act. Forward Contracts Regulation Act anta irutte, based on which Forward Market Commission will be formed. Now it has been repealed because FMC is merged with SEBI, right? Next we will discuss the concept of depository. Okay. Depository andre you are going to buy some shares from a company or a commodity. You are going to buy some commodity or some shares. Where will that share be? Will it be stored in your computer? No. You are going to buy a share of a company. Where will it be stored? That share. It will be stored in the depository. It will be stored in the depository, not in your computer, not even in your account. Those shares will be in a depository. When you sell those shares, what they do? If that another buyer is in the same depository enroll agidre nimme hesaru tagdi, they are going to put his name. If it is in some other depository, they are going to transfer that share from this depository to the other depository. As simple as that, right? Next, National Securities Depository Limited. So this is one of the depository. National Securities Depository Limited is one of the depository. Yeah. This national, see, this is the first depository in India. ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟರಿ ಇಸ್ ದ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟರಿ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್, ರೈಟ್. ಇದೇನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಡಿಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ಇಟ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದ physical form into a electronic form. Shares andre, see, you own a company, it has an asset, it has so many assets. Company has assets. Company li computers irbodu, tables irbodu, ACs irbodu, illa iವರು ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಸಾಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಬಹುದು, ಡೆಪ್ಟ್. illa this company might own 1000 acres of land, it might own 100 kg of gold. All these are assets. All these things are calculated as the capital of the company, right? Everything is included in the share. So ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ would ಈಗ suppose this is 100% of the company's valuation. Company the total value ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯೋದೇ valuation. It is, suppose this is 100%. So if I buy 10% of this company, ಅವರೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಈ 1000 acres land ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ 10 acre ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಾ? No. It will be saved in the electronic form. Dematerialization. Material dematerial ಮಾಡೋದು. So ಅದನ್ನ this organization is going to do. National Security Dematerialization ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? It is NSDL. Next, stock market and macro economy. Macro economy I have discussed already. What is stock market and macroeconomy? Andre, how stock market is going to affect or be affected by the macroeconomy. Okay. See, if the economy is doing well, if the stock market is doing well, then macroeconomy is doing well. Idralli market ಅಲ್ಲಿ inflation ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ, interest rate ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ, if the growth rate is high, stock market will generally do good. Stock market is just an indicator of the economy, right? And in turn, stock market is doing good, economy will doing good. ಕೊಡು ಕೊಡುವಿಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧ, vice versa, right? Recession ಆಯ್ತು, economy recession ಆಯ್ತು, then stock market is going to crash, right? So recession ಆದರೆ stock market is going to crash, right? And then stock market to market economy ಏನು? It manages the liquidity, money supply ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ stock market is going to manage. See, if stock market is there, every money will be with me, savings. Stock market is, I am going to invest it. Doesn't it going to increase the money supply in the market? Yes. So that is one linkage. Next, political factors also decide the stock market. Just like Ukraine issue, stock market ella bidoitu. Political factors. So this is the concept. Next, we will discuss the concept of stock market crash. 2020 ಅಲ್ಲಿ stock market crash ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Why? COVID, yeah. Because of COVID, stock markets gets crashed in 2020, right? So, ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಮುಂಚೆ? NSE ಮತ್ತೆ BSE indices, Sensex ಮತ್ತೆ Nifty 50 were 42,000 and 12,000 respectively. Crash ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ 27% they reduce. The indices reduced by 20%, 27%, right? Okay. Indian stock market performance. Next, what is the Indian stock market performance? So Indian stocks, India dallu chanagi they are performing, and outside the India also they are performing well. Indian stocks, because Indian companies are generally profit making. Market is good. Huge market. All these mobile companies, Poco, Oppo, Vivo, so many companies are there. Even then the demand has not decreased. It is not going to decrease. So there is a huge market. So huge market idaga generally stock market will do good, right? Next, large market is one thing. Economic growth ide. namali 8 to 9%, world's fastest growing economy, right? That is there. Then infrastructure is good. Infrastructure haudu ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲ, but cities the infrastructure is good. Electricity supply, water supply, everything is good for the industries. I'm not talking about the houses. Okay, then proper regulation is there. SEBI, RBI, IRDA, ICAI. There is proper regulation. Because of all these things, the performance of stock market in India is generally good. Generally, right? Next, we will discuss this concept of IFSC, International Financial Services Center. Idanna actually gift city anta karitare. It is in Gujarat. Gift city. It is India's first international exchange. India's first international exchange. So India dalli yavadu international exchange irlilla. The Bombay Stock Exchange, non-national stock exchange, they are domestic exchanges, domestic stocks only. Whereas international exchange, international stocks, foreign companies can also invest. This is not limited to India. It is International Financial Services Center anta karitare, gift city. So it commenced business in 2015. After Narendra Modi becomes Prime Minister, this becomes gets opened in 2014. So what are its function andre? Fundraising. It raises the funds from public and gives it to company. Public hatra beja tumba fund ide, adana government can utilize, companies can utilize. How the public fund gets transferred to the government or the company? It is via these stock exchanges, right? That is one thing. Asset management, it provides function with respect to asset management, wealth management. What is asset management, wealth management? Suppose you have some 1,000 crores. How this asset or wealth is managed? How to derive profit out of this asset or wealth is asset management and wealth management. Idikke actually asset manager, wealth manager anta, not poor people. Poor people, they don't have assets. Of what is the need of asset manager? But rich people who have so much assets, they have asset managers. That service is given by this center. Then it manages the global tax management. Tax related management will also be done by this organization. And also risk management, insurance provide madutte. All these things are provided by IFSC, right? Okay, so it aims to become a world class smart city. It aims to become a world class smart city, right? So ಏನಂದ್ರೆ it is international exchange. ಇಲ್ಲಿ domestic rules ಎಲ್ಲ apply ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Domestic rules won't apply in this area. It's a special economic zone. I told you, NIMZ, SEZ, export oriented units. Domestic rules apply ಆಗಲ್ಲ. So ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ capital account convertibility ಇಲ್ಲ. There is no capital account convertibility. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ what they do, illi they have allowed, IFSC they have allowed capital account convertibility. So when they allow capital account convertibility, more funds will come. Because you invest 100 rupees, you make it 200 rupees profit, you can convert it into your own currency and go. Whereas in the domestic area, normally you cannot convert the money directly into dollars. There are restrictions. So alli allow madidare all these things. There are so many facilities like that. And also normal area, domestic area li SLR is high, statutory liquidity ratio is high. Andre bank hatra 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದ್ರೆ 20 ರೂಪಾಯಿ they have to keep it RBI. But alli SLR is low. They have to, those banks in that area keep just 10%. Avaga this extra 10 rupees will go to the market alva. More investment, right? So all these things. Next, we will, this is all about the concept of International Financial Services Center, right? It is in Gujarat. The city is called Gift City. Next, important indices in the world. Just like BSE Sensex, NSE Nifty 50, we have some more indices in the world. What are the important indices? One is Dow Jones Index. Oh, New York Stock Exchange ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, just like BSE ಇದು ಹೇಗೆ ಸೆನ್ಸೆಕ್ಸ್, New York Stock Exchange Dow Jones Index. Dow Jones Index, right? So what is that? How does it ಏನು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. So ಅದೇ ತರ you have Nasdaq is there. Nasdaq is one index is there. German ಅಲ್ಲಿ DAX index ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Japanese ಅಲ್ಲಿ Nikkei ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Nikkei. And Hong Kong ಅಲ್ಲಿ Hang Seng index ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. South Korea ಅಲ್ಲಿ there is Kospi index. Just like our Sensex. Their stock exchanges, they have their own names. Right? Okay. Next, you have the concept of sustainable stock exchanges. Sustainable stock exchanges. What is this sustainable stock exchange, Andre? They promote corporate sustainability. See, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಒಂದ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡೋದು ಎಟ್ ಒನ್ಸ್, ಅದೇನಾದ್ರು ಚೂರ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ಇರೋ ಬರೋ ದುಡ್ಡೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದು ಬಿಡೋದು ಅದರಿಂದ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಸ್ಟೈನಬಲ್. ದ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ರಪ್ಟ್, ದಿವಾಲಿ ಎದ್ದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸೇಫ್ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ದೆನ್ if some stock exchange provides safeguards to the companies, then such a stock exchange is called as a sustainable stock exchange. Sustainable stock exchange. Next, International Organization for Securities Commission, IOSCO. International Organization of Securities Commission. So SEBI ಹೇಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಒಳಗೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ around the world, this organization is the world organization. Just like we have RBI here and World Bank for the world, similarly SEBI, IOCSO, right? It is the main financial regulator for the world, right? Main financial regulator. So ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, it wants to promote high standards. Stock exchange ಅಲ್ಲಿ it wants to promote very good standards, right? BRICS cooperation among exchanges. BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. It is an international organization, BRICS ಅನ್ನೋದು. Cooperation among exchanges. BRICS cooperation among exchanges. So ಎಲ್ಲ BRICS country ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರಲ್ಲೂ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇದೆ. These stock exchange cooperate. These stock exchange cooperate. How do they cooperate? By cross listing. Cross listing. What is the concept of cross listing? See, India has BSE, Nifty 50, NSE, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದು ಸೆನ್ಸೆಕ್ಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದು ನಿಫ್ಟಿ 50. Suppose Nifty 50 is listed on BSE. ಈ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ನಿಫ್ಟಿ 50 ನ BSE ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೆನ್ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ನ NSE ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇಂಡಿಸಸ್ ನ ಬ್ರೆಜಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ರಷ್ಯಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಚೈನಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೌತ್ ಆಫ್ರಿಕಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ದೆನ್ ಸೌತ್ ಆಫ್ರಿಕಾ ಇಂಡಿಸಸ್ ನ ಇನ್ ಅದರ್ 4 countries, Chinese index in other 4 countries. If we list, then it is called cross listing. Cooperation among the exchanges, right? Okay. So ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸಸ್ ನ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ನ if we list in the foreign companies, Indian indices na foreign ali if we list, we will get foreign capital from these countries, right? Okay. Next, we have the concept of social stock exchange. We saw the concept of sustainable stock exchange. Social stock exchange andre enu? To bring in social investment, health, education, old age, child care, gender, women care. Illegally, if we are going to take the investment, If you want to raise investment to invest in these areas, society, vaccination, health, education, all these things, then such an exchange is called as a social stock exchange. This is a recent concept, 2019-20, recent concept, social stock exchange another. Next, we'll discuss terms in the stock market. What are the terms used in the stock market? Okay. First is the mutual fund. I have discussed in detail what is a mutual fund. One investor, one company, it is individual buying of share. Multiple investors create a fund, and that fund you invest in. See, individual investor, individual bank account, individual company. I invest in that company. Multiple investors create one fund, and this fund invests in multiple companies. That is called mutual fund. Right? It reduces the risk. Right? Multiple investors. So mutual funds only, there are two types of funds. One is open-ended fund and closed-ended fund. So open-ended fund alli enagutte, shares are issued at any time. Fund alli, see, we create a fund. E fund the shares na we investors kodtivalla. Who is going to invest in this mutual fund? If the shares can be given any time, yavag bekaru buy madbodu, then it is called a open-ended fund. Open-ended fund. Okay? Closed-end fund alli during initial time al matra kodtare. The shares of the mutual fund are given to public only during the opening of the fund, initial time. Right? So, illi one more difference is there. Open-ended fund alli, the price of the mutual fund depends on an asset. Yavado one asset irutte. Asset mele the prices of the shares will be dependent. Whereas closed-end fund alli, prices will be dependent on the demand. ಈ ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಗೆ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ is going to reduce. So this is the concept of open-ended fund and closed-ended mutual fund. Next we have share. Share andreno, it is just a certificate. I have a share in your company. Means I have a certificate which shows that I am this percent. I own 5% share in your company. That is the concept of share, right? Shares are also known as stock or equity. Stock andru onde, equity andru onde, share andru onde. Right? Next, bond. Bond andrenu, not James Bond. It is a secured instrument. Secured debt instrument. Government bond. Government gives a 100 rupees bond. It means government, now avaga 100 rupees government ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ bond ಕೊಟ್ರೆ. So it is just like government ಸಾಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿ 100 rupees ತಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ they have to give us 100 rupees plus profit or interest. So it is a secured debt instrument. Secured ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is secured by something. Government ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ it is called gilt-edged securities. Government is the security. When a company gives, there will be some asset which is linked to the bond. Or bond ದುಡ್ಡು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅಸೆಟ್ ನ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು. Okay. Next, debenture. See, bond secured. Difference between bond and debenture is, bond is secured. It is secured by some asset. Debenture is not secured. Insecured. It is not linked to any asset. It is not linked to any asset. It carries interest. Interest is there. It gives interest. Okay. Illi debentures alli there are convertible debentures, non-convertible debentures, partially convertible debentures anta ide. See, convertible andre, see, the thing is, debenture, I told you, debenture alli It is insecure. ಯಾವುದೇ security ಇಲ್ಲ. No asset is linked. Convertible debenture ಅಂದ್ರೆ the company gives a debenture without any linking to any asset. Later, we can convert this debenture into share. Then it is share, company share agi ishtu dina after 3 months. Let's say after 3 months, if the company doesn't repay us, we can convert this into share. That is convertible debenture. Non-convertible andre which is cannot be converted into share. ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡ್ಲಿ we cannot. Partially convertible andre some part of the amount, some of it can be converted. Next, bear market, bull market. What is a bear market? Simple. Stock market ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is called bear market. Stock market ಗೂಳಿ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ bull market. Bull ಏನು? bull ಮುನ್ನುಗ್ಗುತ್ತೆ, right? ಗೂಳಿ ಮುನ್ನುಗ್ಗುತ್ತೆ. So it means the market is moving forward. Bear, it always sleeps. So stock market malkondide. That is the bear market, bull market, right? Bear and bull andre yaru? See, bear market and bull market I told. An investor which believes that the market is going to go up is called a bull. Investor which believes that the market is going to go down is called a bear. Next, blue chip company, blue chip stocks. Blue chip stocks. What is a blue chip stocks? And highly valuable stocks. Good company stocks. If a company is hugely making profit, such companies are called blue chip companies, and the stocks given by that company is called as a blue chip stock. Yeah. Next, we have the concept of large cap, mid cap or small cap company. So, what is a large cap, mid cap or small cap company? Top 100 companies, capitalization, capital ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಂಡವಾಳದಲ್ಲಿ if we divide the companies, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂಡವಾಳ ಇರೋ top 100 companies is large cap. 100 ಇಂದ 250 ವರೆಗೂ ಇರೋದು middle cap. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕೆಳಗಿರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್. ಆಸ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಸ್ ದಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ರಿಟೇಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್. ರಿಟೇಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಟೇಲ್, ಹೋಲ್ಸೇಲ್, ರಿಟೇಲ್. ರಿಟೇಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಿತಿನ್ 2 lakh rupees ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೆನ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅ ರಿಟೇಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್, ರೈಟ್? 2 lakh ಇಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ರಿಟೇಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್. I will be a stakeholder in the company. I will have some ownership in the company, right? Next, negotiated dealing system. Negotiated dealing system andre it deals with government securities. Government securities ಮತ್ತೆ money market instrument. What is a money market? I have taught you yesterday. Money market where the term of the fund is 1 year or below. Capital is raised for 1 year or below. Money is raised for 1 year or below, then it is money market. So money market ಮತ್ತೆ government stocks ಅಲ್ಲಿ if the dealing takes place, then it is done by negotiated dealing system. Next, short selling. What is short selling? Short selling means you don't own a stock. You are not a owner of a particular stock. Then also you will sell that stock. You can ask, sir, how without owning the stock we can sell? You are not at all owner of a stock. See, why short selling? It can be done. Without owning a stock, you can sell it. Why you are going to sell it andre? Now you will sell because the price is high. Adike you will sell. Then when the price falls, you have to buy it. Without owning a stock, you sell it. But you have made a commitment to buy it, just like future contract. ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? when the price falls. So you make profit out of this, right? Okay. Next, market capitalization. Market capitalization ಅಂದ್ರೆ there is a formula, amount of shares, number of shares into amount of each share. Number of shares into amount of each share is the market capitalization. Next, MPS norms. So MPS norms andre SEBI says that minimum public shareholding. MPS andre minimum public shareholding. Ella companilu there should be 25% public shareholding. This has been mandated by SEBI. SEBI, right? Next, sweet equity. Sweet equity andre shares given to directors of the company. Directors irtaralla company li avrige if you are going to give the share, then it is a sweet equity. So why to them? Because they are management, right? They are management and also they make ideas to improve the company. So that is sweet equity. Next, insider trading. Insider trading ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿ ರಿಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಹೊಸದು, ದೆನ್ ಆ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕಂಪನಿಯವರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ದೇ ವೋಂಟ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್. If this insider people only trade in Reliance stock, then it is insider trading. They know that there is a policy change. Because of that policy change, the share price is going to go high. So they are going to invest in the company stocks. Insider trading, this is banned. This is illegal. Insider trading is banned in India and everywhere. Decoupling. What is the concept of decoupling? So if national economy is linked to global economy, then it is a coupled economy. Coupling. Bogi attach ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ train, that is called coupling. If Indian economy is linked to the global economy, then it is coupling. When it is de-linked, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಆದ್ರೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ affect ಆಗಲ್ಲ, then it is called decoupling. So decoupling. Now everybody is coupled. There is no idu. Next, clause 49. What is the clause 49? Clause 49. So it is a clause of Companies Act of the listing agreement. It is a clause 49 of the listing agreement. List ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, list, if we are going to list a company, list a company in the stock exchange, a listing takes place according to the listing agreement, according to clause 49. Adru prakarane you can list a company. I own a company, I have to list on a stock exchange, I can do it according to the clause 49. Then Sharia index. Sharia index andrenu? This it is a religious index. This Muslims are not going to invest in bad stocks, arms and ammunition. They are invest only in clean stocks. Bad stocks ಯಾವುದು? Pork meat, defense, weapons, tobacco, ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. They invest only in clean stocks. So this clean stocks, ಇದು ಅರಬ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋರು they are going to invest. So ಆ clean stock ನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ನ it is called Sharia index. Sharia is the religious law of Muslims. So it is only tracks the clean stock. So what are the next types of shares? What are the types of shares? One is common stock and preferred stock. So preferred stock andrenu? Preferred stock which has more demand is a preferred stock. Common stock is something which is normal, right? Okay. So preferred stock alli when the shares na sale dividend ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಭ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ first ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ? Preferred stocks. Those who have preferred stocks, they will get the dividend first. And company close ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಇದು ಕಂಪನಿನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ first profit or first closing money will be given to preferred stock holders, right? And preferred stock holders have high voting rights, more voting rights. Next, power exchanges. Power exchange ಅಂದ್ರೆ simple. Power ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, electricity. Electricity na we are going to trade. Where we trade? We trade it in power exchanges, right? So we have ಇದು 2008 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ this power exchange. We have India Energy Exchange and also Power Exchange India Limited. These are the two exchanges where we are going to trade the power. Okay, so tomorrow this is the concept of stock market. Tomorrow we'll start with the concept of inflation. Very important. So hope you found this class useful. Please make good use of it and prepare well for your competitive exams. If you have any doubt, you can put it in the comment box and also on our Telegram channel. Okay, so please take good care of your health and let's meet tomorrow. Jai Hind, Namaste.